So, one of the things that I know is that doing research almost always makes me sad and depressed. Um, and I don't know why that is the case. I think it's because it's isolating and you have to do it by yourself for the most part. And you work in a room where you have to have the doors closed, it's quiet. Um, and it's kind of a difficult thing to actually do, right? Like most people can't do that. I would say the majority of people would really struggle with this. Um, and, that is one of as I've mentioned recently, is kind of the industrial hazard. I would say it's the biggest industrial hazard of the career is figuring out how to deal with that loneliness or the sadness that you actually feel when you're doing the work. And I know that this people from outside of the career don't really understand this, but the way that it actually works is unless you're in big science labs, but even still, I would probably suggest it's probably very similar. Um, you do a lot of work by yourself in any sort of research career, where I would say 95% of your time is spent working by yourself, alone, and then you might have to do some sort of hurried presentation in front of a bunch of people, right? So you got the extreme. So you don't really build connection. It's hard to sort of build connection, um, like a lot of other jobs where there's a lot of community and talking about just kind of everyday life stuff. Um, I would say it's very much be very suited for a hermit life, right? People are into that, but what what you'll realize when you do it is most people are not suited for that, right? It's very rare to be able to deal with that. Um, so, the question is how do you deal with it? And I'm struggling with that. I kind of can manage it pretty good, but then parts of me can't. And it's kind of challenging to deal with this, right? Like the extent of your communication or interacting with other people is often just through email, where you might be working with a co-author or something like that, and you just shoot an email back and forth and there's very little discussion. um, and if you were to spend time doing the sort of normal thing that you're interacting with somebody, like the normal interaction, face-to-face interaction, that's considered a waste of time. And that's the challenging part of it, is how do you manage that? How do you, and even when it's a sort of face-to-face communication, it's very strategic, very focused on what you're doing. Um, and it's, this is the ultimate challenge with it. Um, how do you actually manage that? What does that actually mean? Um, and frankly, I don't know. Right? Is what I'm sort of suggesting at this point, is like, how do you manage this? What do you go through? And if there's like good suggestions, if people have that listen to this, um, let me know, and let other people know. It might be a good sort of way to have a conversation, and just be open about these things. I think we need to be a lot more open to sort of see how we manage this. What does this look like? Um, and how do we go forward with it? Right? Given that I would say it's an industrial hazard, how do we manage it? What do we do? What's the process to deal with the sort of sadness that you feel when you're doing research, and writing things and sitting down by yourself? Like, how do you get through that? Um, I don't know. Let me know. If you're listening to this, I'd be all ears. Um, going for walks and things like that is usually really good for me. But it's also really difficult to manage it, um, no matter what. So let me know. I'd like to hear. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.